for immediate release, public statement, and formal legal notice. Title: Crime Against Humanity. The targeted erasure and attempted assassination of Dr. Richard William McLean Baron Dodger. Date: 14 April 2025. Submitted by Dr. Richard William McLean Baron Dodger. Location: Rural NSW, Australia. Email: barondodger@gmail.com. Phone: +61 472 162 343. Pay ID 04335 14524. Website: www.barondodger.com. Official publication of international legal documentation. This release accompanies the formal international publication of the following legal record: an emergency statement to the international community. Crime against humanity. The persecution of Dr. Richard William McLean Baron Dodger. This sworn legal declaration formally classifies the treatment of Dr. Richard William McLean, a gay, disabled Australian whistleblower, artist, and public intellectual, as a crime against humanity, citing over 100 pieces of visual, forensic, legal, and testimonial evidence. These acts were committed in breach of the Rome Statute, Article 7, Convention Against Torture, CA International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICPER, Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, CRPD, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UTTR. Declaration Summary and Global Implications. This declaration is submitted as a last resort legal and moral appeal for urgent international recognition of protected whistleblower status, criminal investigation and prosecution of key state perpetrators, emergency asylum and humanitarian protection, media coverage of Australia's unlawful targeting of whistleblowers, global legal accountability for complicity in crimes against humanity. The evidence includes documented assassination attempts, V2K voices, psychological torture, fabricated rape and pedophilia allegations, starvation, medical abuse, censorship, and forced homelessness, inflicted following whistleblower disclosures of fraud, corruption, and black budget operations involving the NDIS, SCO, and senior political figures. Named state perpetrators and officials. This declaration formally names Anthony Albanese, Prime Minister Bill Shorten, NDIS Minister Mark Dreyfus, Attorney General Philip N.S.W., Public Guardian, Financial Sabotage, Denial of Medication and Housing, Ben D.S.W., Disability, NDIS Provider who confirmed attempted assassination, signed NDA, then evicted the victim into homelessness. These individuals, and every public official who participated or remained silent, are now formally accused of breaching their fiduciary, legal, ethical, and democratic obligations. The NDIS, RC, Work Cover, Ombudsman, Comcare, and NAC are listed as state entities complicit in the cover-up and persecution. Declaration excerpt: I am no more a rapist or a pedophile than Australia is a democracy, and that is not at all. I was not hunted for wrongdoing. I was hunted because I exposed it. I remain in political exile, starving, tortured, and alive only because I published too much to be killed in silence. Dr. McLean was denied protection under the Public Interest Disclosure Act despite qualifying disclosures. He was then subjected to a campaign of institutional retaliation and character assassination, including blacklisting, gang stalking, and being locked in a car without food or housing while his therapy dog Crystal nearly died beside him. Companion work: Whistleblower Autobiography. Dr. McLean has also published a legal literary work that documents the lived trauma and philosophical meaning of these events. Betrayed, Murdered, Forsaken: The Harrowing Journey of Baron Dodger. This autobiographical companion work explores the personal cost of truth telling under tyranny, the betrayal of public service by politicians and bureaucrats, the spiritual and moral endurance of a disabled gay whistleblower, how the attempted assassination was thwarted by publishing the murder plot in real time. It is an academic, literary, and moral reckoning with power, violence, and human dignity, and has now become one of the most important whistleblower testimonies in Australian history. Immediate obligations for public bodies. This press release and its accompanying legal declaration trigger immediate legal and moral obligations for the following institutions: NDIS and Ben from DSW. Cease obstruction, restore funds, issue legal explanation. NSW, Public Guardian and Philip. Release full documentation, compensate withheld funds. Work Cover and Comcare. Process pending claims with full back pay. RC Ombudsman NAC. Launch emergency inquiry into institutional betrayal. All politicians publicly acknowledge the criminality of silencing whistleblowers on RC and ICC. Trigger Article 7 investigation and international protections. Final declaration. The evidence presented proves beyond reasonable doubt state knowledge and complicity in assassination attempts, use of military grade technology to inflict psychological torture, sexualized defamation, and forced impoverishment as tools of state repression, criminal conspiracy across police, NDIS, media, and government institutions, a full collapse of lawful due process, rule of law, and democratic values in Australia. This constitutes a crime against humanity under international law and requires immediate international intervention, and continuation of this erasure is tantamount to a human sacrifice. No one can feign ignorance or deny their own institutional complicity. Obeying the mandate of ultimate harm aims avoid all accountability. Read and distribute the full public declaration. Click here to access the full emergency statement and legal declaration. Google Drive. Imminent change mandated. Given the above, it is morally, legally, and ethically impermissible for me to remain excommunicated, treated as a person non grata, unprotected under the Public Interest Disclosure (PID) Act. This continued exclusion constitutes a fundamental betrayal of this country's legal and ethical foundations. My forced exile from my home resulting from police hypocrisy, bureaucratic corruption, and institutional cowardice has rendered me a politically displaced refugee, seeking asylum from retaliatory violence, covert surveillance, engineered poverty, and psychological operations designed as destabilizing torture. As a disabled and already vulnerable person, these actions demand immediate reparation and justice. This is especially egregious considering that my targeting has spanned over 30 years and directly solicited my attempted suicide in February 2021. I was revived from a fatal injury only to be abandoned and forced to sleep in my car by the NDIS before its leader, Bill Shorten, enlisted the police to exile me. This was a calculated maneuver designed to isolate, desecrate, entrap, and torture me. When I did not die, as was the apparent expectation from abuse, neglect, V2K assault, and psychological torture, the operation escalated to an attempted assassination. In retrospect, this proves beyond doubt the systemic, bureaucratic, and coordinated culpable malice behind the campaign to erase me, while agencies like the NDIS and the Public Guardian feigned assistance, all the while towing the party line of a federal mandate to silence and destroy me. Any continuation of this imposed poverty beyond 24 hours of the public release of the statement must be interpreted as conscious obstruction of justice and the continuation of a crime against humanity. It places me at imminent risk of suicide or assassination and demands immediate international and legal intervention. My carers are obligated to report abuse and neglect, torture, poverty, and my assassination attempt. Yet they are active participants in causation of those things and have been corruption embodied and personified. This report that has established my persecution as a crime against humanity must now be forwarded onto the International Criminal Court for immediate acknowledgment. An investigation due to the imminent risk to my life protection is now obligated to do less is culpable murder by contrition. For urgent legal support, media requests, or witness testimony, email barondodger@gmail.com. Phone +6104 702 162 143. Pay ID 04335 14524. Website www.barondodger.com. Oh, quote, I'm sorry if I've hurt anyone and I apologize, but no one has apologized to me. Silence in the face of tyranny and corruption that endangers life is complicity. In such times, protest is not merely a right, it is a moral obligation. I choose to forgive those who orchestrated my assassination, for no one is beyond redemption in the eyes of the divine. This forgiveness is not weakness, but a testament to the moral authority I hold over the corruption and those who sought to destroy me. I strive to embody the principles of Christ's compassion, truth, and unshakable faith, and my allegiance